most people don't know me a lot about me, like you said. And I think it will help you learn a lot more about me and other people. So I will share something with you. I'll be 72 in September. And I think you know one of my daughters died. One of the twins died.
I didn't.
Oh, Joan didn't tell you. Oh,
This never came up in our conversation. I didn't.
oh,
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
Yeah. So she died at 34. All my kids, including Michelle, have master's degrees. A couple have double masters and one has a doctorate. But she's also a dental hygienist, which is amazing to me. So all my kids are sort of like me.
Mm.
We're community because when they were kids, I would drag them with me to some of my community stuff, particularly when it was with kids, to show them that they didn't grow up like I did in a row home in South Philadelphia. They were lucky to grow up in a burbs. And here's what some of the kids in Philadelphia are like and what they have to go through. And they spend a lot of time with my mother on the weekends so they can interact with the kids. And my mother would be going, you know, your kids don't know how to do double dutch. You know, your kids don't know how to do this. You know, Mom, they don't do that in the burbs. We'd go away and I'd come back and they were double dutching. Dad, grandma taught us how to double dutch. She had the neighborhood kids teach us. And she was double dutching too. Wow, I used to see grandma, you know. And so things like that. That was my mother. My father dropped out of school in 8th grade. And when his mom died, he was one of 12. And they had a greasy spoon restaurant, so he had to help in the restaurant. So education is a big deal in my family. Both
Mm-hmm.
parents are gone, and but they were very smart because he was an entrepreneur, and I'm an only child. So
So double whammy.
yes, it was great when you're a
Wow.
kid. Wasn't that great when the parents got old and sick? So that's my story from that perspective. So ask
Thank you
away.
for sharing. So I would love to know. I mean, you had these parents who really who pushed you to go to college, be the best you could be, right? What
And
kind of
grandparents.
and grandparents. Thank you. That's true. Yes, because that's where it started. Looking back, like what kind of advice do you feel they gave you without saying, Jim, this is advice that I am instilling in you, but you just knew that this is what they would like for you to take away in your life or continue to build on it.
Family is important. Outer family is fine, but the immediate family is the core. Know your name, know what it stands for, work hard. Know that the future is coming. So it's a wish I had known earlier. And then you try to use that down the road. Life isn't as stable as you think it is. You know, you're going to get older, but you don't know what that means. You don't know when you get older, two things happen. There's circles of life. People get sick, people die. When you see your parents, they're always old to you. They're constantly old. They're old. But as you get older, they get older. And then you realize, God, they're really, really old. And then you also don't realize that you will get sick too and how that may affect your life. And the other thing you don't realize is life around you. There's your personal life with your friends, there's your family life, but then
Yeah.
there's life outside the neighborhood. And you don't understand that until you go to college and graduate. And there's outside life of Philadelphia. All of a sudden, you're now working first in the family to go to college, first in the family to be corporate. My life is corporate, has always been
Mm-hmm.
corporate until towards the end a bit. So then you start to understand the world of layoffs and downsizing, right sizing. There were 1,500 people at the headquarters. 1,100 were downsized. I've worked here for 18 years. I haven't worked anywhere else. Oh, let me go try to find jobs. And I wasn't a very good networker. I wish I had knew more about networking. You know, my whole thing in life is try to make the environment better for your kids than what you had it. And it doesn't mean in terms of dollars. It means in terms of thinking right, having the right values, giving to others, giving back in the community, have a vision, have a goal. I read this book years ago. called Psycho-Cybernetics, and it talked about achieving your goal isn't a straight line. It's you go here and something happens, and then you got to learn to pivot and go there. But as long as you're continually in that direction, be a heat-seeking missile. It's things you need to be aware of. I wish I had known there are more people who are friends, close friends, than I realize. Wish I had known. As you know, my famous saying is be a pinball bouncing on the bumpers of life. You may stick to that bumper or you may just barely touch it, but at some point in time, that piece of space you touch will come back and touch back on you in some form or fashion. May not be today, but 5 years from now.
Thank you.